Hey everyone, great to see you. It's really exciting to be here with you for day two. I'm looking forward to looking at what's coming next in Falcon this year. Let's look ahead to year two. Again, happy 1 year anniversary to the entire Falcon Network. It's awesome to be celebrating this huge milestone together. This has been a phenomenal week with tons of activity going on across the entire ecosystem. Across many countries, tons of meetups going on around the world, tons of different sessions. A huge thank you to all of the organizers that put this together. This is a huge endeavor to pull together a conference of this magnitude. So, huge thank you to everybody who created these spaces for the community to gather. And we have a phenomenal lineup for you today. There's a ton of amazing conversations, so be sure to check the schedule and flip around between the stages and go to the talks that you find most interesting. What I'll do today here is just go through some of the exciting things that we can look ahead to in this year. As a reminder, Filecoin is a crypto-powered storage network. It's the storage network of Web3, and its mission is to create a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. The Falcon Network is a combination of different subsystems and modules. It involves a blockchain, a protocol, and a network, and a decentralized market that forms a storage cloud. It has a whole app platform, a decentralized economy, and a large and growing ecosystem providing an open service. There are many different parts to this whole picture, and a lot of different people are building this whole network. So one of the things I wanted to start with is yesterday, Molly gave a talk that looked through Filecoin at mainnet liftoff and then looked at Filecoin now and went through a bunch of different features. So what we have achieved in the last year, this is a huge celebration of the tech difference. At the very beginning of the year, we had about 6.6 exabytes. Now we have about 12, so we have greatly increased the network storage capacity. We have greatly increased the chain bandwidth. We've greatly increased the network security now with 3 implementations on mainnet. Really fantastic to see these come online. We've delivered a ton of upgrades, network upgrades in this time frame, bringing in lots of changes suggested by many people around the network. And we've also managed to drop the storage cost of the network to mostly free, especially with Filecoin Plus. So we have this amazing condition right now in the Falcon Network where you can basically store vast amounts of data for long-term deals. This could be like 3, 4, 5-year deals, mostly free. So this is a kind of really fantastic position for all of the people coming into the Falcon Network at the moment. Make sure to take advantage of this awesome deal. In this time period, we've also created a ton of interfaces and applications to help onboard lots of developers, many different vertical use case specific websites and so on that are helping onboard lots of data into the network. There's a ton of cross-chain integrations, hundreds of applications and tools, and there's a massive ecosystem momentum with 10,000 developers, many hundreds of projects and organizations, and at least 60 new startups building on the network. And one of the most important achievements and one of the things that we're going to be focusing in for the next year is the fraction of useful storage, and just the sheer amount of that has greatly increased in this period, now storing 6.5 million NFTs and 30 petabytes of storage. This is by far the largest storage network in the centralized world, and it is starting to contend with a centralized storage network. So this is a really great future for Falcon, really fantastic achievement. Everybody should feel really proud of getting here. So what's next? Let's look ahead to a few different areas of development that I think are super interesting. And I want to kind of go through a bunch of things that I'm personally super excited about, and I think a lot of people around the network will find interesting. So first and foremost, let's scale the client usage. So that's one of the big things that lots of people are going to be focused on, is to greatly increase the amount of clients using the network. And this involves all kinds of onboarding through different developer on-ramps, making new developer on-ramps, helping many different groups have a great success story, helping people figure out how to use the software, writing new better documentation, improving the UX, and so on. This might also involve creating more use specific tools for different verticals. So again, either developer tooling or developer platforms, or specific consumer-oriented applications that tune to some specific use case, like the personal storage use case, or we'll start to see some other specific things, so things like photo storage and whatnot. In this time period, we're going to be onboarding a huge amount of data into Filecoin. I hear this about on the order of 200 petabytes waiting to come online of client data that is starting to onboard into the network, with about 600 plus organizations getting started with Filecoin, trying it out, running pilots, and getting going. So this is a vast amount of data coming online. It's going to be a huge endeavor to bringing it on onto the network. In this time here, I think we'll also be making a ton of super interesting consumer storage products. So like chain-safe files or space.storage, we'll probably see more applications like this crop up. I have two requests out there for people building applications. One would be a tool to back up, to fill kind of the personal backup stories. So think of things like Carbonite and so on, being able to just back up your personal devices and so on to Filecoin. And the other is a photos application. It would be really great to be able to start to store photo galleries and be able to do sharing to friends and so on with a product sort of tuned for personal photos and whatnot. That's a huge one of the things that people want cloud storage for in their personal lives is storing photos and videos and sharing them with friends and family and whatnot. And it would be fantastic to see that develop, either as an extension and a feature in some of the applications like chain-safe files and space.storage, or it could be a dedicated application on its own. I think in this time period, we'll also be storing tons of developer artifacts on GitHub. So this might be package manager registries, containers, VMs, and so on. Special shout out to Valis, who's creating a whole set of tools to be able to publish all kinds of different software artifacts directly onto IPFS and Filecoin. I think it'd be fantastic to be able to look back either a year from now or 2 years from now and just see a huge fraction of all of the tooling that developers use leverage the free storage on Filecoin and the free distribution. Let's connect to all of the other chains. So we have a fantastic momentum building integrations and bridges to a number of other blockchains. Let's keep that up and really connect to all the groups and enable them to be able to leverage Filecoin and leverage the useful storage primitives and so on. And this will get even more interesting and more powerful for them once computation arrives on the network. I think one thing that a lot of people are waiting for and working hard towards building is the retrieval market. So I think in this year we can make as a community create a huge effort to ship the retrieval market, get it all working, and bring online the CDN style capabilities of the network so that we can get really fast retrieval and we can have high bandwidth to all users and so on. Let's make storage providing easier. So right now it's still pretty difficult to be a storage provider. It would be fantastic to drop the difficulty of that, and that'll be a combination of a ton of R&D in the protocol layer and in the crypto algorithms layer, or in the writing of proofs and so on. In other cases, it'll be changing of actors in the chain and whatnot. And in a lot of times, it'll be just facilities and other systems around the network, or financial services, or other kinds of systems to be able to help storage providers get started, learn about the systems and so on. A huge shout out to groups like Secure Finance and others who are working pretty hard to create good financial services for mining groups. One of the huge things that a lot of us are really passionate about is to make Filecoin green. The Filecoin Green project is getting off the ground, and it has a phenomenal vision and lots of ambitious goals. It'd be really amazing to be able to look back a year from now and ideally at that point be carbon neutral, and ideally carbon negative. That would be a fantastic achievement. That's a really ambitious goal. Let's try to make it and go from there. And it's useful to, as a reminder for everybody, we're still in stage one of the network development and economy development. So let's focus on improving all the different factors there and making it towards stage two. There's still kind of we're the network's just 1 year old, right? So it's still a baby network in its infancy, in terms of its capabilities being fleshed out, feature sets being built out, all kinds of user development flows and whatnot. And so I think this is still like a lot of different features and whatnot are coming online. So many development groups are working on those. Many source providers are working on those. Let's keep at it and keep improving the quality across the board. Something that I'd love to be able to see is to make the Falcon economy much more self-reliant. So this means in the sort of export economy view of the Falcon network, being able to do much more of the activity involved in the production of cloud storage directly within the boundaries of the economy. So this means being able to buy and sell critical goods to storage providing directly in Filecoin. So this might mean hardware like disks, GPUs, computers, data center equipment, all of that kind of stuff. And it might also mean critical services for providers and developers and researchers and so on, like data center services, electric power, food, rent, banking, and so on. Like all of that kind of infrastructure coming online to support the Falcon economy will help make the economy itself much stronger and be able to leverage into the advantages of the economy to increase to make the import-export model of the economy gave a lot of advantages to all the different participants transacting and trading with the rest of the world. One thing that a lot of us have been waiting for with bated breath is the ability to use smart contracts directly on Falcon and be able to start adding user-defined applications. We've always had it as a long-term plan to be able to do this. Finally, the time is now. The talk right after mine from Raul will introduce the Falcon virtual machine to you. Really exciting to see that now that we've built out the storage layer, we can start introducing different kinds of computation on top. And not only computation in terms of smart contracts directly on the chain and affecting state on the chain, but also computation over the data. So one of the big goals for the network is to be able to facilitate computation over users' data stored on Filecoin. So this might mean being able to do schedule jobs or run functions around the data that some particular source provider is storing. There's a lot of different structures for doing this. Many different computation models. We'll build towards that, and we'll build upon we need the computation layer of on-chain user-defined smart contracts to be able to get there. One really massive effort is going to be to be able to scale the chain state and the computation that the Falcon network can do. Right now, we're already we've already seen the limits of blockchain bandwidth and so on, and we know that we need to be able to hit in order to be able to use Falcon and blockchain networks to power the large-scale infrastructure of the world. Networks like this need to be able to deal with internet-level workloads, and this means massive amounts of transactional throughput. So I think that the Falcon network should set as a goal not to get to just a few 100,000 transactions per second, but billions of transactions per second or trillions of transactions per second eventually, and to be able to offer fast local finality. So this means being able to clear transactions within a city or within a data center much faster than the finality in around the world. So this is a huge ambitious endeavor, of course. Lots of different blockchain networks are working towards this, and this will be a large group effort. I'll plug Marco's talk later today that talks about the strategy that the various different development groups around Filecoin are thinking about to get here. I'm super excited to see the world of NFTs transition into virtual worlds around blockchain networks. And so one of the next big leaps will be to be able to store full virtual worlds directly on Filecoin. So it would be fantastic to be able to work with these groups to bring their storage online. And there are many other groups getting started, so it would be great to work with them. And one other really important development that's happening around the world is that the Metaverse is coming online. So through all of these different fractions of interactivity here and there, we're starting to piece together different experiences and high-quality environments that are forming the Metaverse, and the protocol layers connecting these environments and allowing participants to navigate between them or transact between them and so on are all coming online. So we're getting started on the Metaverse. That's going to take, of course, many months and years to really flesh out. But it's already really amazing to see the kind of things that people are building. A huge shout out to the different groups building museums and galleries to be able to showcase 2D and 3D NFTs. I think that's where it starts. That's where the metaverse is being born. And also a huge shout out to the Mona team and who's running the Falcon Forum build out competition, which is producing just really fantastic, amazing 3D environments. So perhaps maybe in a year we'll be getting together in the Falcon Forum and having this conversation live in a 3D space. And of course, naturally, we'll lean into scaling the builder funnel to many more projects and startups. Hundreds of groups are getting help and support and are being able to take their projects from early hacks all the way into building businesses. It'll be great to see this scaled out to many more hundreds of projects and startups. And so let's continue growing the Falcon ecosystem. We're in a fantastic breakout trajectory. Let's keep it going. Let's grow a lot more. And I can't wait to see what everybody builds. It's going to be a fantastic year. And one last note, if you aren't working in a team yet, and you're just an individual around the Falcon Network, or you're just thinking of getting started, there are tons of teams that are hiring right now. This is most of the teams that I talk to are growing. So join a team, get started, and help us build the future. I'll leave you with some advice, which is that remember to think long term. These things, what we do now will help shape the future. So remember that the components that you introduce into your systems and software applications today are going to impact how people think and use technology in the future. So remember to kind of build the right thing and to be resilient. All kinds of challenges will arrive and so on. Let's create a super resilient network, deal with those challenges as we go as a group, and do what's best for everyone. And now I'll pass it over to what I think is one of the most important things happening this entire week. I'll hand it off to Raul to introduce the Falcon virtual machine and all of the really exciting plans we have there. Thank you.